just to clue you in, this is an informal group. We get to a comfort level here. What's shared here stays here. I think you know Tommy. This is Bill. Ken.
Hey.
And this is his trusty companion, Hope.
And David. We basically try to get to the point to where we can tell our toughest stories. We all got some. Pain shared is pain divided. We talked about that before. It gets divided in here.
I think I'm up tonight.
Only if you're ready, man.
All right. I was born in New York. Pretty tough neighborhood. Used to be known as Hell's Kitchen back in the day. My dad used to have to work 2 and 3 jobs, kind of take care of us. So my mom basically raised me. And she was a great mom. She was really, really overprotective. Not a good combination for the mean streets that I was raised in, because it didn't take long before I got kind of a reputation of being a little mama's boy. And I never learned to fight or be tough or anything. I didn't have any friends, because none of the guys wanted to hang out with me. I was young. Anyway, a new family moves in a couple of floors up from us. We lived in this housing project. And there's a kid who lived up there. He was older than me. Probably 8 years older, I don't know. Anyway, he was kind of nice to me and kind of waved at me and gave me a feeling of belonging in a way. And I thought I had a friend. It wasn't too long before I realized the reason he liked me is because he liked young boys, if you know what I mean. So, that went on for a couple of years. Under the stairs in the housing project. I was afraid to tell anybody. He threatened me. So years go by, right? I come to a point in my life finally, and I say, you know what, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to be something. I'm going to join the army. I'll become a tough guy. I'll be Rambo. I'm going to be a tough guy. I'm going to join the army. Prove to people that I could be something. So that's what I do. The next thing I know, I found myself in special ops, peacekeeping team in Bosnia. We weren't even supposed to be there. So me and my team were outside of this town. We got our eyes on this gymnasium, eyes and ears. That's all we're supposed to do. Their army had about 250 civilians there. Mostly women and kids in this gymnasium. Everything was fine for a while. Until they changed units. The unit who was guarding them got pulled out and they brought another group in. These guys were savages. And that's when it started, the attacks and the rapes. Every night, listen, We listened and we listened. And we heard screams and the pleading. The worst part of the kids. The worst part is hearing the little kids, you know what I mean? We asked to go in. We wanted to go in and fix this. Stand down. Stand down. Those are the orders. Stand down. Who knows? In hindsight, maybe it was the right thing. If we'd gone in, it could have been worse. I don't know. I still hear them. Especially the kids. I still hear little kids at night in my dreams. If this doesn't go away, you know. So I basically snapped. I became useless to the army. I got hooked up in all kinds of bad stuff, man. Alcohol, big time. Heavy drugs, big time. Ruined any relationship that came into my life. I even tried taking myself out twice. Couldn't even get that right. Couldn't even get that right. I pulled into Oklahoma City from God knows where. One cold December night, right? It's freaking cold. I've got no place to go. I don't know what to do. But I knew one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to see the Oklahoma City Memorial. You know, the bombing happened in the Borough Building. I wanted to go see the memorial for some reason. So on a cold Oklahoma night, I will go down there by myself. And around the reflecting pool, they have all these stone, granite, I'm not sure, chairs. 168 of them represent all the people that killed. The hardest ones to look at are the little chairs. Because the little chairs represent all the kids that died there. And I find myself looking at this and shaking my head. Where were you that day, God? Huh? What were you doing when that bomb went off and all those kids were dying? Where were you when all that happened? So I kind of disgustedly start walking away, right? I'm crossing the street to leave. This thing strikes me. There's the statue. Seems out of place on the other side of the street. So I get closer. And I see the statues of Jesus. But his back is to the memorial. And his hands over his eyes, and he looks like he's crying. And the bottom of the statue, it just reads two words. It says, Jesus wept. And then it hit me. It hit me at that point. He was there all the time. He was there all the time. He was there under the stairs in the tenement. He was there in that freaking gymnasium. He was there in the Borough Building. He was there all the time. This wasn't his plan. That's why he's crying. He didn't plan for life to be like this. He didn't plan for the world to be this freaking mean, cruel. He didn't plan for death like this. He loved us enough to give us free will. And free will can be tough, man. I'm whining about suffering. He knows about suffering, right? He understands that. Went to the damn cross. For who? Me. So the God that I thought wasn't listening The God I thought was ignoring the prayers. He was weeping. And he was there all the time. So I don't know what's next, guys. But I sure as heck thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share this stuff with you. It's an honor to be in your presence. It's an honor. That's it, man. That's all I got.